welcome to the launch of the Mercedes-Maybach GLS 600, Maybach's first SUV in India. Joining us today to tell us the story of luxury is Martin Schwenk, MD and CEO, Mercedes-Benz India. We also have with us the Queen of Design and Asia's most influential designer, Suzanne Khan, the creative mind behind the Charcoal Project, India's leading one-of-a-kind concept store.
Hello Suzanne, I'm very happy that you can join us today, coming up from Bombay to meet us here to the launch in Pune.
Hello Martin, I'm so privileged and I feel really happy to be here at the epic launch of this beauty.
And that we would want to extend our warm welcome also to everyone here on the screens.
Yes.
It's the first time we launch an SUV from Mercedes as a Mercedes-Maybach, a car that really stands out as I would say, a testimony to our this year's motto, which is Reimagine Excellence. That's
Correct.
Our motto for 2021. And I have to say, as an engineer, I also have a little designer in myself. And if I look at the car like this, then I really feel the warmth, and I can clearly say the beauty of Maybach is really completely in this vehicle as well. Today, as we set now things into motion, Suzanne Khan is here with me, and I don't think I need to introduce you. I'm glad that you join us today.
Thank you, Martin. You know, I am so happy to be here. Firstly, because according to me, the brand Mercedes-Benz has been, you know, very relative to me since I was a little girl. My parents have always been very, you know, aspirational, always wanted to own one. And I think that we today as designers and as we want to figure out what is the meaning of luxury, what is the essence of this word that we are, you know, talking about. So I think that's the reason why I'm here today to talk about the evolution of luxury and how it has been from year to year and the change of it. Yeah.
Then I'm really curious to find out with you together what is it about luxury. Maybe before we go into the cars, I mean, you come from a very unique style with your Charcoal Project. Can you tell me a little bit how you connect luxury with design and your own creations?
Okay, so, you know, Martin, for me, the philosophy of creating comes from a very, I would say, passionate place. It's all heart, and it is about creating an emotion. It is about creating a curiosity that you want to evoke in the person that you're creating for. It could be a space, it could be a product, a chair, but it should overall give you an entire feeling of well-being and an emotion of love and, you know, feeling secure in a certain way. And I look at this beauty today, the Mercedes-Maybach, and I just want to say that I saw it in the video, but I saw it in person and I'm like blown apart. And you know, I think looking at this makes me feel that it's been a little difficult, the time. And I know that it's hard to sell a luxury product. So I would like to know that how have you, you know, managed to keep the business going in India at this time? How has it been?
Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest, it is difficult in these times. Of course, the brand is always hopeful, aspirational, and we cater to the dreams of our customers. But we have also to acknowledge that we go through a very difficult time, which I personally hope we are seeing now the end of it,
Yes.
with making some improvements. But in these times, it was extremely important to us also to support our communities and our employees.
Absolutely.
For example, we did donate here for the communities around. We gave oxygen concentrators. But I think now looking forward, it's important also to make sure that we can get out safely out of this crisis. And I'm very happy to say that only in the last few days we were able to vaccinate literally all of our employees and the contractors we work with here on site
wonderful.
together.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and we're now moving on, bringing all family members, getting them vaccinated as well. And I think one big step we also took is we're putting in 1,500 rupees for every employee of any dealership in the country to support their vaccination, because we really believe vaccination is the way going forward and further unlocking.
Yeah. We have to be absolutely safe. We've done the same at Charcoal Project. We've vaccinated all our people and kept it absolutely good. But you know, I think that here today it's important for us to you know, keep the you know, the idea of, you know, making sure our communities are safe, at the same time trying harder to sell and to make sure that our product is of a certain you know, visibility, right?
Absolutely. And if you ask me about the difficult times, of course it's also a frame of mind we have to be in. On the one hand, I think it's now the right moment to get back to business, so to say. Whilst we were able to continue at a lower scale our production, now we see with unlocking of a lot of dealerships that operations are coming back. So we felt very confident last week to launch what we call Retail of the Future, a completely new way of doing business in our sales outlets that will really have a big impact on the future customer experience.
Wow.
So you will see more of that, I'm sure. And today now coming with our Mercedes-Maybach in a SUV shape for the first time, that really shall give us additional energy now in coming back and looking positively to the future. I mean, for me, Maybach, I grew up close to Stuttgart, and Maybach always was kind of special to me. It is...
tell us about the history.
Yeah,
I want to know
I give you
how.
yes, of
I want
course.
to know.
A little educational
yes,
here. Yeah?
Please.
I mean, at the start of the 20th century, Wilhelm Maybach, he was a great engineer and a developer of products who would focus in his vehicle and car design on new technologies at the same time at great designs.
Wow.
His real view was to create the best of the best, and I think that is what is the aspiration today.
Of course. I think that he has totally nailed it.
At the time, and now it's coming here.
Yeah.
If you look now into, I mean, you follow the industry, you follow luxury as itself. What would you want, how could you explain to me how luxury has developed, evolved in the country over the years?
So, you know, I think that if you have to talk about luxury in our, you know, in the 80s to the 90s, you know, I was a toddler, like I said, when my parents you know, were aspirationally, they owned the, you know, the Mercedes, you know, the convertible in those days. And I remember it was such a big thing. And I know that, you know, the one couple of things that luxury is, it's not only about, it's about being aspirational. It's about like kind of making a certain, you know, dream come true. And I think that over time and over the years, luxury in India has evolved and changed because there has been a lot of technology that has added to the luxury product. So now your product is like thinking. It has a brain and it has a heart, you know. So like I'm sure that's another thing that, you know, we are going towards. So you know, similar to the Maybach designs, and similar as a designer. Obviously, we can't, I mean, I haven't achieved something so great yet, but I must say that we all work from the same place of just wanting to create something which makes you feel good and from the heart. And I think that I can say that I want to study automotive design now after looking at this beauty. So maybe that's the next step.
I think design to make, I take from your words, and luxury to make you feel good about well-being. I think that's very, very good and very interesting thoughts for me. I think that is obviously the task for our designers as well. We talk about sensual purity, and if I look at the GLS Maybach, I can say that is for me personally next level already. So it really is also meant to showcase how Mercedes is transforming more and more into a leading design brand, so to say. And I think if you think of our entire range, a lot of that is there. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
With that, let's have a look at a short AV. for us, the Maybach design is very special, and a lot of attention to detail is at the core of it. When you look inside, the interior not only offers best comfort, but I think in many aspects it can really be compared to what you find on a luxury yacht or in
a jet,
or
maybe?
a jet.
Yeah,
of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think what is, it's not only design, it's also the feeling of it. You spoke about well-being, and if you really the touch and feel and the craftsmanship and the materials themselves, I find them always very necessary for very good well-being. So
of course.
I would be interested. What is your view on material? What kind of material do you prefer in your creations?
So Martin, honestly, you are absolutely right. We as a company always look to create this feeling of well-being and comfort, and that comes from very authentic materials and authentic specialized product. So when we are choosing, we choose a lot of natural fibers like woods and metals, and I like to sometimes use it in its authentic form because I feel that that adds a lot of different layers and textures to the environment and what we're trying to create. And I definitely think that it is a process that keeps building. So the use of wood is like exceptionally very important in a very, it can change, it can be sophisticated if need be, or it can be rough and in a certain way if it need be. So I mean, I think it takes a lot of great amount of, what you experience to reach this level of finesse in a product. And obviously, hearing your story, I'm looking at this and I'm so motivated to kind of like know more about automotive design.
I mean, of course, it's the design, but then it's also the finesse, how things are put together.
Yeah.
And we always proud ourselves here with these vehicles that they have a really high level of craftsmanship.
Correct.
And that makes them really also distinctive, and it goes
authentic,
very authentic, and it goes very well with an extraordinary design, and that's why we call it the Maybach of SUVs, and that's obviously the first SUV as a Maybach we are offering. So for me, that is really what we want to offer to our customers, something very special and also following their own ambitions and their well-being, as you have put it so nicely. At the same time, the design is very outstanding. I'm not sure what's your view on that, but I find
it's stunning. I mean, it's so aquiline and, it's so perfectly balanced. I find it's very balanced.
It's balanced, but it's still very, how can
strong,
I say? Strong.
Yeah,
strong,
absolutely.
Yeah, and at the end, it creates also a lot of feelings. So what is your view how luxury should impress itself on the, how can I say, customer or the spectator?
So I think that and I'm sure you'll agree with me, luxury is an emotion, okay, and design is a tool. You can use the tool to create the emotion. So as a designer and as a mind who wants to create, if you work from that space, then you keep going into different realms of creating without calculating where it's heading literally. And I think that it's so important to have that as the back of your head when you're designing. And when I see the Maybach SUV, I think that that's what the designer, and I heard from you that it takes that much time and detailing to go into like so many prototypes and all of that. So I think it's the flow of the energy and the way that you want to make that person feel so special and so exuberant. So that's, I think, you are the epitome of that when I think about Mercedes as a brand.
No, but I think design is a tool. I think that is a very, very interesting thought. I mean, from a designer's mind now, if I look then here also how the star sits, for example, on the bonnet here, I can clearly see it is a special tool because it creates that element of surprise and, at least for me, unexpected.
And also unexpected and also like some sort of, royalty and a little like finesse, in a certain way. Because I know the other one was flat, right?
Yes, this is the only SUV where we have the upright standing star, and for someone like me who is a little bit traditional, I really like what it demonstrates at the same time.
Absolutely, I agree with you. you. Yes.
Let's have a look with the next video,
okay.
what we're talking here about. Well,
wow, my God. Martin, I've got my hair is standing up because it's such an amazing, epic moment for me.
Absolutely. I mean, for us, the Mercedes-Maybach GLS, it's not only like an epitome of luxury at the same time, it offers exclusivity to a large extent.
Absolutely.
And there's many ways you can configure the vehicle to your own liking. There is different Designo leather packages, there's exclusive trims for an individual look. There is different colors offers, there's upholstery differences also in terms of different colors like crystal white or silver gray pearl, very fancy words, but it looks also very fancy, I have to say. But if you really want to, for example, use it as a mobile office, you also can have a rear folding table, there's a refrigerated compartment, even champagne flutes are being offered. So a lot of these features can be in your GLS Maybach and will then make your journey either like a mobile office or a very relaxing one. Yeah?
Of course. I mean, you know, I think that personalization and individualization, you know, making the product special for each person is such an important thing as we go by. After even this huge pandemic, we all realize the importance and value of each day. So if we can work really hard to make our lives feel aspirational and even better, and you know, as designers, give our clients and our people that we are working for that special feeling. I think that that is the biggest you know, role that we should play as design minds, I think, and I think that this car spells it out.
No, I mean, that's clear. I mean, everyone who aims to own a car like this, they also look for exclusivity, for something special, for individualized trimmings or features. So I really think that is what everyone would be looking at. On the other hand, I would already want to let you know that we have already now a very good, say, positive feedback from a lot of customers, even before we have actually launched the vehicle, with saying the positivity coming back in the market and the expectations our customers would have from a GLS Maybach. We have already seen quite a strong pull into that car. For me, it's hard to imagine, but we have already 50 orders. 500 would be even better, yeah.
500 soon, God willing.
500 will take a little longer, but we have 50 orders for the first GLS.
That's very
Absolutely.
Good, yeah.
And we have right now another set of customers configuring their vehicle and ordering it, and it will be then produced as well, and early next year they will be then also here in India. So I'm really impressed about how we have taken speed with this vehicle.
I'm really impressed too, and I think that it's all the hard work that you all have put behind all these years of even putting the product together. And like you're saying, it's so special, it's so important. But you know, I mean, it's just happy that, like, I think that you have not announced the price of the product. No. So I'm curious to know, what is the price, Martin?
Well, I mean, price is always an interesting subject. I think the price should represent the value of something. Yeah? And I'm sure that's for your installations as well. So the Maybach GLS starts at 2.43 crore. And having seen the response we have at the moment, I think we have a very ably priced product which really stands out and gives us a lot of confidence of its success and also the future success of our vehicles.
Wow.
We have more ultra luxury products to launch very soon in the market and I'm very confident they will also work out quite well.
Yes, that sounds amazing. I look forward and I'm sure it's going to be really exciting. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure you have a lot of people in your wider say circle who would probably be also customers
very
in that field.
Very intrigued,
Yeah.
of course. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like I said before, I'm born and brought up in a film family. My parents from a very young age, aspirational, wanting to create. And I think that there will be a lot of young people today who even will, you know, aim to get a product like this, because it's almost like you feel like there's a pat on your back when you achieve it on your own without, like, you know, any sort of other help. But I think that this is a great. I want to know what is the like who are the people who are you know, ordering? What was the age group? Is there like
no, you make a point here. Yeah, I mean, we see really we have an age group between 40 and 45, which is actually surprisingly young for a product like this.
Yes.
At least I was surprised.
Yes, it is young. Yeah.
On the other hand, when we see what the people are, a lot of them are young sportsmen, film personalities, fashion designers, maybe also other designers. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
so there is a lot of customers
curiosity,
and there's a lot of, you know, you mentioned well-being, you mentioned luxury, individualization. At the same time, aspiration is always there.
Yeah.
And that is really something which goes through the brand by itself, actually on every model.
Yes, I mean, like, honestly, I'm pretty convinced that you're absolutely right. Now my aspiration is to get one of these. I'm going to work harder to get one of these.
Well, I mean, it's always in reach, I think, but I can also assure you, we have 24 models in our range.
Oh, yeah.
There's definitely one for
one for everyone.
For every aspiration, there is one, and that's also a fact.
Yes.
We have a wide range of customers. And they all aspire to. I mean, it doesn't really matter what price segment you look at, whatever. Yeah. They aspire for Mercedes as a brand. They look for the design. They look for the special features.
That quality and
absolutely.
You know, the history of Mercedes is so important. So I think that obviously what you're saying sounds absolutely accurate for me. You know, I know that. Yeah.
I mean, if I hear your convertible story, I can believe that.
Yeah, of course.
Because it triggers a lot of warm emotions as well. I mean, for us, it's important the products, but then at the same time, being there for the customers, creating a great customer experience, and then also really connecting every customer with the brand and their vehicle. But before we now conclude on this, I would also be curious about, do you have any major project coming up now from your charcoal initiatives?
Okay, so Martin, I'm happy to announce that my brand charcoal project, and besides charcoal project, we are now setting aside a new brand which will be introduced at Salone di Mobili this September, and that brand is called Vero Suzanne Khan. It's a brand which is more exclusive. It is more special. So the products that we are launching, it honestly was supposed to be launched at 2020, but because we had this pandemic and so it got delayed. But it's happening this September, and I feel very, you know, nervous and a little anxious because it's something that I've created.
That sounds very interesting.
Yes.
Vero Suzanne Khan is probably real Suzanne Khan,
yes,
I suppose,
yes.
Yeah, with my little to non-existent.
Yes.
But yeah, that's very interesting. I really wish you.
I will invite you for the opening.
I would be glad to come.
I hope that it's all, we can travel and all at that time. I mean, I'm sure I will make sure. But if you can, you please come. I will
would be curious to see that, how this brand comes to fruition. Because at the end, you know, we're always on that learning journey. You talk about your design and your development. We talk about cars. But it's very important to understand how these things interact, specifically since our customers, they also live in both these worlds.
Absolutely. And like you said, and that's the bottom line, I think, today, aspirational. And, you know, a certain individually, you're making them feel special. You're making them feel so important. And I think that as a brand, we all just want to make those people feel special. Am I
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. It's about
Yeah.
the well-being, and it's
Yeah.
also about, as you say, aspiration that goes hand in hand with
Yeah.
luxury and design. Design it as a tool. I will remember that, and if I came to your show or come to a show,
Yes.
I will remember and
Of
try to
course.
find where the tool is. With this, I would want to go to a
Thank you.
close with this session. Thanks very much for joining us today, and I would
Thank
also
you.
want everyone to stay safe. I'm very confident that with not only with this launch, but also with what we see at the moment going on, the pandemic is on its way out. And with that, I would
Inshallah.
like to thank everyone on the screens and here in the room, of course,
Thank you.
for
Yes.
joining and having this chat with me
Thank
today.
you, Martin. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you everyone for joining us. And we are so happy at this epic launch of the Maybach SUV.
Thanks, Susan.
Thank
you very
you.
much.
Thank you.
I mean, if you talk about tool, I
Yeah,
always
wow.
find the star is very special.